Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your dream is big. I hope your dream is bigger than the nightmare. It's bigger than the obstacles. It's bigger than the challenges. It's bigger than anything that you're facing. I hope you're continuing to still dream and no one has stolen that dream from you. In the spiritual realm, right? The enemy comes to distract, to take us away from our destiny, right? To really push us away from what God has called us to, right? In the earthly spaces, these are called dream stealers, negative people, people that are smaller minded that you might tell your vision to or your dream to, and they immediately shoot it down. They immediately tell you it's not possible. They immediately tell you, right, you should just settle and get the job and be happy that you're here, right? That's what it looks like on the earthly level. Those are dream stealers. Those are people that you have in your life that don't push you and encourage you to get all that God has for you. They tell you to stay where you are, not take the risk, right? They give you more doubt, they give you a little bit more fear. They plant little seeds of doubt inside of you, and we hear those things and they steal our dreams. It's also the enemy on a spiritual level. The enemy comes to steal our dreams, to distract us, to get us away from our destiny. So we have to be stronger than all of that. We have to be stronger than those forces. Our vision, our dream, what we're headed towards has got to be bigger than any of the obstacles. It's got to hold more weight than any of the obstacles that we face. And we know that we just can't give up. I know you hear the message, but sometimes we just need to reiterate the message that we can't die. We can't give up on this pursuit of the life that you want, on this pursuit of the joy, the peace, the happiness, the fulfillment, right? Whatever you choose to spend your energy and time doing that you actually want to make happen, we can't die on that road. We can't give up. It's going to be hard. Some of you guys have, you've heard me say these types of things before, but life doesn't get easier. We just get stronger or not. You have the choice. But life is not going to get easier. It's not up ahead down the line. That's when things are going to get better. It's not when you make that $100,000 that life gets better. It's not when this situation changes in your family that then you'll get better. This is the process of you continuing to grow and get better, and life will constantly get harder. It will constantly send you, right, the things that you don't want. But are you going to get a reward for it? Good old ET would always say, if you're going through the pain, right, you can't stop. You need to get a reward for it. If you're going to go through all this pain, if you're going to go through all these trials and obstacles and all this stuff fighting to get to the life that you want, because again, you normally won't experience this if you're not fighting to get to the next place. If you're not growing and struggling and pushing yourself to grow in all these areas, you probably won't feel the same obstacles, adversities, challenges. It won't feel the same. It's only for those that are in motion, that are moving, that have a dream in their heart, that have a vision in their mind, that are actually executing on it, that really start to feel these types of things. But as you're going down this path, you got to get a reward for the pain that you go through. You got to know that everything that you want, said this in the video, everything that you want is on the other side, right? Of the discomfort, of the things you don't want to do, of the pain, of the suffering, right? Everything that you want's on the other side of that. We used to say everything that you want is on the other side of your comfort zone. So wherever you are right now, emotionally, again, we have emotional comfort zones. There are emotions that actually comfort you. They may be good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. You have emotions that your body likes to experience to make you feel a form of comfort. Some could be positive emotions, some aren't necessarily positive emotions, but either way, it's our comfort zone. There's some thoughts that are our comfort zone. There's some environments that are our comfort zone. There's some people that are our comfort zone. And everything that we want, all the things that we're trying to get to, are on the other side of that comfort zone. It's on the other side. It's you saying, you know what? I'm going to get into a new friend group. I'm going to get into a new environment. I'm going to get a new job or a new place of work. I'm going to do different things in my health. I'm going to fast and sacrifice and, right, take some things away. these are the things we have to actually, resolve ourselves to if we want to get to that life. But either way, just know you can never say die, right? You can never say never. We can never say that we're giving up on this fight. The fight to grow and become the highest, grandest expression of yourself is never ending. Sure, sometimes you go harder or faster at it, and sometimes it's a bit slower, but it's never ending. So that's the mindset you got to go into it with. Life doesn't get easier. We just get stronger or not. It's your choice. But don't expect it to get easier down the road. So just know this is the fight of our life. This is what we continue to struggle and grow and push towards, is the highest, grandest expression of ourselves. Here's what it says in 177 Mental Toughness Secrets. Champions never say die. It says the middle class will persist until they become uncomfortable. The upper class will persist until it becomes painful. The world class never says die. Let's say those sentences again. The middle class will persist until they become uncomfortable. The upper class will persist until it becomes painful. The world class never says die. Champions are comfortable being uncomfortable because they have grown so accustomed to risk that feelings of vulnerability almost seem natural. Champions don't even begin to pay attention until they feel pain, which they expect to feel on a regular basis. Champion cyclist Lance Armstrong says racing doesn't even get interesting until it becomes what he calls the sufferfest. Even the upper class cannot compete with the world class because while good performers have a deep desire to win, the great ones are committed to winning. The distinction between the two thought processes is substantial. Failure to manifest the vision is not an option. Champions will do it or die trying. The mantra they love to expose is whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. The great ones are masters of self-denial, suffering, and sacrifice. They do it all to live their vision. If you're going up against the great ones, you better pack a lunch. It's going to be a long afternoon. Whatever it takes, ladies and gentlemen. WIT. Is that your mindset? Is that your mentality on the things you want, on your vision? Do you have a whatever it takes mindset? Or do we still sit in the middle class thinking of whatever it takes until it becomes too uncomfortable? I'm willing to do whatever it takes until it becomes too uncomfortable for me to really do that thing. Then I'm going to question whether or not I should be doing this. We see this in relationships, in marriage. I'm doing everything I need to do for my partner until what they ask makes me too uncomfortable. Then I question whether or not I should be doing this because I'm uncomfortable. That's the middle class mindset. Or are we doing whatever it takes, whatever changes are necessary, whatever habits need to be broken, whatever people need to be cut off, right? Whatever risk needs to be taken, whatever it takes. Is your vision that strong? Is your vision that big of what you want your life to be, that you're willing to do whatever it takes? And it's a question you got to ask yourself, guys. You got to ask yourself this question. If it's not, then maybe your vision is not big enough. It's not pulling you in the direction you really want to go. Is it even your vision? Is it even something you want? Or is it something that you maybe thought you wanted? Or maybe is it something that someone told you you might want? Or are we taking our information from society, or right, comparing ourselves to other people to find out if that's what we want? But when your vision is yours, when it's something that you want, you will have a whatever it takes attitude. You will never say die. You will never quit. You'll never give up on it. Yes, it's going to get hard. Again, I know the stuff that I'm telling you is easier said than done. It's easier said than done. I get it. Still doesn't mean it doesn't have to get done. Still doesn't mean it's not the right way. You're going to go through the tougher seasons of life. And if that's where you are right now, if you're going through a tougher season in life, just know we got to do whatever it takes. This too is going to pass, right? You're going to come right out of this season into the next season, but you have to fight to get a reward for the pain you're going through. You got to fight to get a reward for the trials, the adversities, the things you're putting yourself through on the road to getting to the highest, grandest expression of yourself. That's, again, what all this is for. Remember, you've heard me say this before, right? These calls, these talks aren't for everybody because not everybody wants to grow. Some people are okay being where they are, and that's all they want. That's fine, right? To each his own. We're not judging where people are or what they want. But if you're on the call because you want to change your life and you want to experience something different, you want to get to the highest, grandest expression of yourself, and you want to be the person that God called you to be, and right, you want to experience all these things, then this is the mindset you have to adapt. That you are headed down this path, the road less traveled, as they speak, right? The road less traveled, the road that the masses don't go down. Most people veer off of this road as soon as it what becomes uncomfortable, as soon as maybe even some it becomes painful for them. People jump off the road really quick and say, "Nope, this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't what God called me to do. I think that there's an easier, simpler way." Right? We justify it in many different ways. But then there's those that are world class that are gonna, we're just never gonna say die. Like we're never gonna give up, no matter how painful it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. We know that we're growing. We know that we're learning. We know that our money only grows to the degree that we do as people. Something I explain all the time when we talk about money. You know, we're in the money business. So just to correlate those two things, many people want to make more money, have more financial independence, right? Make sure money's not an issue. But what we don't know is money only grows to the degree that we do, as our identity grows, as who we are as people. Otherwise, you can come into money, but it'll quickly flee from you. It'll quickly leave. This is why lottery winners make money, and then within 5 years, typically, they've lost all of that money because their identity wasn't raised. It didn't matter how much money, their identity was still that of someone that made $40,000 a year or $30,000 a year or $60,000 a year. So when you make 300 million, your identity says, yeah, you didn't really make that, nor do you deserve this, nor do you know what to do with it. So it's just going to flee. It's going to go away. So for those of us that want to improve our financial state, man, I wish I could just save some more money. I wish I could, right? Wasn't paycheck to paycheck. I wish I had better spending habits or whatever it is. Let's start with raising your identity. Let's start with thinking differently. Let's start with, right, thinking as if you were that person. In my master plan to energize and focus, one of the things I say in there is I say, I think I have thoughts of someone that brings in seven figures. Our income and net worth are catching up quickly, right? Like I already think the thoughts. I already operate in the place of a person that brings in seven figures a year income. I already operate in that place. That's already where my brain is. But our income and our net worth are catching up quickly because I'm already there. Then the income and net worth can catch up. This is how we have to think about it when you are going off to design your ideal life. You have to think about it as if you are already there, as if you already have those things, as if you already, right, are walking in that home that you want to be in or have that business. You know, I used to say this to some of you that are in business with us, right? What would the Fortune 100 CEO be spending their time doing? If some of us want to be very successful in business and entrepreneurial or whatever the case is, the question is, what would a successful founder making $500,000 a year, how would they operate? What would their day-to-day look like? Would they be dropping their friend off at the airport? Would their parent be asking them to go do, right, some errands to run groceries? If they're the founder of a $7 million company, they're making $500,000 a year, would that be the same habits that they would have? Probably not. Probably not. But we might want to get to that place, but we don't act as if, right? We don't act as if. So these are important things to pay attention to. You have to be able to first believe it in your mind, see it in your mind, so you can hold it in your hand. Most importantly, you got to know that this process doesn't get easier. We just get stronger. So I encourage all of you to keep going down the path, to never say die. Whatever that dream, that vision is that you have, that God gave to you, he only gave it to you. So the only way you're going to let that thing, right, not see it come to pass is if you allow the enemy to distract you and discourage you and take you off of your path, or you just, again, don't want to be uncomfortable. The pain becomes too much. We're not mentally strong enough. We're not emotionally strong enough to push and continue to go down that path. So that's why we're going to work on the thoughts. We're going to work on the EQ. We're going to make sure that you guys are strong enough to be able to handle and endure whatever comes your way for the things you've asked for, right? And then from a spiritual realm, you got to know that this is just the enemy fighting you and pushing you away from what you're called to do and what you're and who you're called to be. The action step for today says, ask this critical thinking question: how committed am I to achieving my ultimate vision? Ask yourself that question. How committed are you to achieving your ultimate vision? Are you really willing to do whatever it takes? Really, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get to that vision? If so, know you're on the right track. If not, chances are you have settled for second best in your vision. It doesn't have sufficient emotional energy to motivate you through the tough times that will undoubtedly occur. If the latter is the case, do some soul searching and rewrite your vision. Odds are that you will need world-class emotional energy to bring your dream into reality. It takes energy to go after your dreams, ladies and gentlemen. It takes real energy to go after your dreams. If you're lacking energy, you gotta know we're emotional beings. So there's things that can drive you emotionally that you gotta tap into, that you gotta find out what that dream is gonna get you and how emotionally that's gonna impact you. And then we start building a life around that. We start making sure that that vision is so big and pulls us so much emotionally that we're willing to do whatever it takes to be able to get there. But that's the key, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes. And I'm in your corner. If nobody else is in your corner, you don't have a strong support group, keep showing up. These morning mindset calls, keep showing up. We're in your corner. We're the people that are headed in the right direction, in the direction where we can get to the highest, grandest expression of ourselves. And we need people. You need community. You need fellowship. As soon as you get off these calls, some of you go right back into an environment where people are negative, where people are dream stealers, where the environment isn't great and conducive for you getting to your ideal life. Maybe we got some people in our ear. If we go right back into that environment, you need this more than ever. You need to be able to break away from that and get clear and get around some people that are headed in the right direction, because it takes a team, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a support group. It takes a community of people to really change our lives. All right. So I love you guys. You deserve to win. I want you to win. Continue to go out there and make it happen. It's Wednesday. There's no such thing as hump day. Today can be an amazing day. Today can be the day that you meet that one person you were supposed to meet that sets you up for the destiny that God called you to live. So go out there, shake some hands, get uncomfortable. Ruthie, I appreciate you always sharing the link. I appreciate all of you that continue to support, jump on, and continue to share. We're going to continue to grow this thing because more people need to get to the top of this thing. It's too crowded at the bottom. Love you guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. See you Friday.